Back with another Savage stream. Thanks everybody for tuning in and liking and sharing and commenting and all that cool stuff. You guys are freaking awesome around here. The reason I'm a little bit late because I was getting ready to go live and I realized I didn't even have a drink, so I had to go and fix that. First one of the week, I think, so that's good. Yeah, feeling all right. I mean, I felt all right before, but now, you know, I got a drink. I'm hanging out with you guys, so I'm good now. Let's see, what are we gonna do tonight? What are we talking about here? Normally, like on Crypto Fireball Friday, we do like a chill stream, but I do have some topics that we can go over. I think I put them in the video description. We'll get to that in a minute. Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Make sure that everything is good to go. Sound is good. Video is good. And be sure to like tag me if you have any questions or anything like that, because I don't really monitor the chat. You guys know that. I get super distracted really easy. And I do like to cover some content and not just look at the chat and, you know, do it that way. Although I did do an AMA more or less the other night and let you guys just hit me up with questions and whatnot. So anyway, let's get to it. The topics that we can talk about tonight are that, oh, real quick, before I get too far into it here. It is my Twitter anniversary. 3 whole years on Twitter. Can you believe that? Yay, me. Thanks, Twitter. I still don't know what I'm doing on your platform, but okay. I'm there. All right, so we're going to talk about what's going on tomorrow. There's quite a lot. Oh, thanks for the subscription. I'm going to butcher your name, so I'm not going to say it, but thanks for subscribing there. I appreciate it. Yeah, so tomorrow there is a lot going on, actually. I believe that Red Panda Mining is going live at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And then after Red Panda Mining, I think he's doing his, you know, normal Saturday showcase, mining rig showcase. I believe that Caffeine and Crypto with Serpent is going to be on at 12. And then what I'm planning on doing is after Serpent, Caffeine and Crypto, I'm going to go live on and do mining profits for the previous month, because we break that down on the 20th of every month. We do this every 20th of every month. So I have to do it tomorrow because that's the day. So I figured that I would follow Caffeine and Crypto, I guess, and we'll do that. And that, it's looking like probably be around 1 p.m. Eastern Time, my time. So yeah, be ready for that. I think it'll be a full day of crypto, basically from 11 to 2, something like that. Basically, yeah, 3 full hours, I guess, if you want to look at it. I don't know how long my stream will be. I probably won't be a full hour, so maybe just 2.5 hours. So that's tomorrow at 1 p.m. on my channel here. And then some other things we got going on. We've got the AION poker tournament, the 3rd invitational, the 3rd one already, which is insane. But not just having the 3rd one is insane. What is really insane about this is the prize pool. Because let me break this down for you. All right, now this doesn't start until April 10th. I don't believe that the registration opens until March 27th. I believe at 3:10 p.m. on March 27th is whenever you can start registering. It is on PokerStars, so you can download PokerStars. You might get redirected. It doesn't matter. Just go to pokerstars.net. If you're not, you know, if you haven't already done it, go to pokerstars.net, download PokerStars, install it, get an account set up. Preferably, we would like to see you, like if you're a YouTuber or if you're in the community already, and let's say you're on Twitter or something. If you have like a common handle, it would be nice if you use that for your username in PokerStars so that we can kind of know who you are in a way, right? You know what I mean? It just makes it more fun to kind of know who the person sitting across the table is. So yeah, you just download it, install it. Like I said, you might get it redirected depending on your location, you know, depending on the rules and laws in your area. Like if I go to pokerstars.net, I believe I get redirected to pokerstars. I forget what URL it kicks me over to, but it doesn't matter as long as you can get the software. It's all free. And that's another thing, guys. This is free entry. You don't have to do anything. Just download the program and install it and register for the tournament. It's insane, because I'm going to get to the part that's insane here in just a second. This is nuts. All right. It is a no limit Texas Hold'em tournament. We've done this 3 times. It's freaking awesome. It's a ton of fun. But look at these prizes. I haven't totaled this up. Yashnik is in here. He can probably total this up, or probably has totaled it up already. But let's just take the first place prize here, and let's convert this to USD. All right, because it's 20,000 AION, right? Am I getting that right? Yeah, 20,000 AION is $5,600 USD for a free tournament. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I don't even see how, like, big names wouldn't be for this. I mean, a free entry to win potentially 5,600, and that's not even it. I mean, look, there's other things in here. That's just the first prize. The second prize is 15,000. The third prize is 10,000. I mean, you get paid all the way through 30th. And Yashnik, how many players were in the last one? It was over, I forget the number. What is MEV? Okay, see, y'all are going to distract me. MEV is minor extractable value. I've done a couple of videos on it. If you look back at my channel, you can see a couple. I want to say I talked about it last night, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll talk about it a little bit tonight as well, if I get that far before DCA Adventure. So yeah, this is nuts. Absolutely crazy. Crazy gift cards. You know, I mean, it's $300 worth of gift cards to Dogelord.com. He's got some really cool crypto merch over there. If you like crypto related shirts and coffee cups and hats and jerseys and stuff like that, really cool stuff over there. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Then there's also bounty. So like if you are playing against, let's say that you are heads up against, or you're in a pot with Yashnik. Yashnik has 1,000. You have 2,000. You get aces. You put Yashnik all in. He calls like a donkey, and you felt him, right? So you take him out of the tournament. Well, you will, just for that, just for doing that, he's a bounty. So just for knocking him out, you will get 1,000 AION for that. And then the other, there's a lot of bounties. I don't know how many here. 13 bounties. So there's 13 bounties, and you can see they're listed here. I am one. So if you put me out of the tournament, you get 500 AION. So let's go and look at that. 1,000 AION right now is $280 for knocking out Yashnik, and 140 for knocking out me. So you could literally, this is the way this could work. You could literally just register for the tournament. The tournament starts, the very first hand. Let's say that I had to pay the big blind, so I have less than you. You put me all in. Actually, I guess it would even out. Anyway, so you put me all in, and you take me out in the very first hand. You win $140 for that worth of AION. You know, I know I always revert back to talking about the USD value. Just forgive me, but you know, you kind of have to like relate that value because it's significant. I mean, this is a huge tournament, guys. This is huge. So that's the way that this works, and it's going to be a ton of fun. It's I think the last one lasted about 3 hours from start to finish. So you could potentially win, you know, 5,600 USD in about 3 hours, which is a pretty good return on your investment of 0. So other than your time, right? So that is the way that works. Yeah, very cool. I've got the link to this document, which describes how to enter it and all that stuff down here, I think at the bottom. Yeah. So if you keep scrolling down, here's all the information on what you need to do. Yeah, it redirects me to PokerStars.bet. That's right, because I'm not allowed to play online poker in my region here. So yeah, all the information is here on how to get registered and all that stuff. It's all right here. So this link is in the description of this video. All right, so you'll be able to get to this document and figure it out if you're not familiar with it.
So there you go. Cool stuff there. Be sure to, I mean, this is like a community thing. You know, it's like just AION, basically AION Foundation, I believe, giving back to the community kind of thing. And anyone can join. Anyone can get in on this. It really, honestly, it should be some really big names in there. You know, big YouTubers, whatever. You know, because it's enough money to, it's enough worth, enough value to make them show up, you know, in my opinion. Anyway. All right, cool. Yeah, maybe not the first hand, but you guys get my point. All right. Let's see here. What else we got? DCA Adventures going live tonight, I believe, after. Oh, yeah, this is also in the description, the link to the stream, because this is going to be, the tournament's going to be live streamed. I would imagine that all the channels are going to, like, I'll be streaming it on my channel. I'm sure Red Panda will, Serpent, all those guys. But the main one will be DCA Adventure. So this link is also in the description, so that you can't do much right now. I don't think you can even, yeah, it's just kind of like a scheduled thing. So you'll be able to get to that as well. And then, like I was saying before that, the DCA Adventure, actually, I guess let's see here. They don't have it, it's not showing up here just yet, so I guess that we'll talk about that once they schedule it or whatever. So check out dogelord.com. I have a collection over there, but like I was saying earlier, there's a ton of really cool collections over here. Lots and lots of cool merch, crypto merch. So be sure to check out all the collections and pick up, you know, the cool stuff, the cool shirts and whatnot. I've got some over here that people seem to like. Got the Bitcoin word cloud, Ravencoin word cloud, and the word cloud shirts basically have words that deal with whatever the logo is. So in this case, Bitcoin. I know it says Ethereum right there, but you know, you got Vitalik that used to be involved with Bitcoin, and now he started Ethereum. So I guess that there's a relationship there, I guess. But you got Block, and then there's also like YouTubers in here as well, and people involved in the community. So that is cool. I've got a little funny shirt here. I might look like I'm listening to you, but in my head I'm thinking about mining crypto. Pretty relevant. Got my standard vintage Savage shirt here. I need to get one of those because it's got the logo on the sleeve there. I think that's pretty cool. And then I really like these Raven shirts here because you can get them in like basically the Raven colors, you know, right? Even though it's like a solid colored logo, but it still looks cool to me. I think it's a good look. You got the black logo, then you got the white logo. I like this one. I'm a black and white kind of guy. And yeah, cool stuff. So check that out. Be sure to pick something up if you like it. I think I got I got a second page over here. So be sure to check this out. Got some mouse pads and all kinds of cool stuff over here. All right, cool. Not going to talk too much about that. Let's get into some real content here. Let's talk about EIP 3368, which today was the core dev meeting, and BBT Bitsby Trippin was in there. He drafted up this EIP 3368, which was basically in response to EIP 1559, which we've been talking about. It's exhausting. We've been talking about this for months. But he drafted this up with the help of Micah from the Ethereum dev community, and that's what they were talking about today. So on the meeting today, he was presenting this, and long story short, it didn't get accepted. It was rejected, but EIP 1559 is still accepted, of course. That was already done. It was already a done deal. This was kind of supposed to go alongside of 1559, and it was rejected from what I understand. At least that's what I gathered from his YouTube video today. I think it was right here. So it looks like it was rejected, which what it was going to do is it was going to set the block reward to 3 Ethereum and give it like a slow decay over
4,724,000 blocks. Basically, each block, it was going to decrease a little bit, which basically comes out to about 2 years. And that was going to go all the way down to 1 ETH, 1 Ethereum block reward. So it was kind of a compromise. But again, it wasn't something that they don't, the Ethereum devs don't need to compromise with us. And they've made that very clear. And this was definitely them saying that we don't owe you anything, and that's it. You know, this is the end of it. So, all right, whatever. But, you know, this was our shot across the bow, I guess, so that we could at least say that we tried, right, with this type of thing. Because now the risk is, you know, like BBT has explained it a bunch of times, the risk is if the fees stay high, the rewards go down, miners leave the network, then it can put the network at risk. And that was the whole motivation behind all of this. But just like normal, us miners were painted with this horrible, you know, description, horrible tags, basically, of being these greedy, money-grubbing, you know, bottom feeders, or whatever you want to call us, you know. And it's so overwhelming and exhausting to deal with it, because there was so much bad information on both sides, mainly from the Ethereum community and the Ethereum devs, that were allowing miners to be attacked on all fronts, all media, all, you know, all social media, all media outlets. They all painted us as this horrible group of people. So this was our response to that, to try to convince them, or try to show them, like, look, this could actually happen. There's a low probability that it would happen, because if Ethereum's value goes up enough, then all of this is just nonsense. All of this is just water under the bridge. You don't even have to worry about it, because if Ethereum's value goes, let's say it goes to 2,000, or I don't know, I didn't check, I don't know what it is right now, but let's say it goes to 2,500 or 3,000, then 1559 is not going to do much to miners. It's going to be about the same. But the really frustrating part is that and I mentioned this last night, the devs did not stand up at all, from what I could tell. All the conversations that I saw, all the threads on Twitter and whatnot, I'm not in everything, but what I did see, there was never a situation where a dev corrected someone else in the Ethereum community whenever they said something that was wrong, that was false about miners or whatever. I never saw them coming back at them. Maybe they did and I just missed it, but I did not notice it at any point. And, you know, but I did notice a whole lot of hate and a whole lot of just straight up lies, about how this all works. And what's really dangerous is the Ethereum devs have allowed the Ethereum community to believe that 1559 is going to lower transaction fees. So what do you think is going to happen? Which it doesn't, right? There's nothing in 1559 that says that transaction fees are going to be lower. Nothing. There's no solution in there for that. Now, maybe because of the base fee being burned and the block size being dynamic, maybe you'll see a small decrease compared to now. It could coincide with other things like NFTs and DeFi having a slump or whatever. There's all kinds of, you know, factors here. But bottom line is if what's going to happen to Ethereum? What do you think will happen to Ethereum if 1559 gets implemented? Transaction fees are still high. What are the users going to say? Like, hey, you guys were saying that this was going to decrease the fees. Why are the fees still high? Because that's what's going to happen. You know, there's a much higher chance that happens than anything else that people are saying might happen. That's probably the most likely scenario, is that the fees are still going to be high, and it's going to hopefully open the eyes of Ethereum users. Like, oh well, wait a minute, maybe those miner guys were right whenever they were, you know, shooting back at us and saying that it doesn't decrease the fees. I don't know, maybe it's not going to matter, because, you know, you've got large YouTube channels, you've got all the media outlets all saying bad stuff about miners, and they hate us. They literally hate us. They loathe us. So we're not gonna come back from that. I don't think. I think that this is a done deal with Ethereum, in my opinion. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm a little salty about it, but whatever. It is what it is. You could probably tell I'm a little salty about it. All right, let's move on. Let me check the chat real quick, see what you guys are talking about over here. Okay. Oh, I talked about that last night, Pocket Change. The funny thing about Ethermine is that now they're implementing, or they're using MEV, or at least a beta capability, and what that means is they're basically exploiting a vulnerability or a feature of Ethereum and extracting value from users, causing the fees to go higher, the transaction fees, and then whatever they accumulate from that arbitrage trading bot that they're using or they're outsourcing for, or whatever they accumulate, more additional ETH that they extract from the consensus layer of Ethereum, which is supposed to be transparent and we're supposed to trust it and all that stuff. Anyway, you're going to get me going on this, but whatever they extract, they are supposed to be giving 80%, I think, back to the miners, right? Now, I haven't looked into it that much, but it's possible that they could have been doing this all along, and now it's been exposed because, like I said last night, the mining community didn't really know what MEV was until recently, because it was thrown in our face that we should be using MEV whenever we were against EIP 1559. And everybody's like, well, I don't even know what you're talking about. So as time has gone on and people have investigated it, now the pools are suspect because they might have known and they might have been already using it. Who knows? You'd have to go through each block, figure it out what Etherscan shows you as the block reward for that block, and compare it to what the pool that mined the block actually has listed on their dashboard for what the rewards were for that block. And basically, if they don't match, if the pool side says that the block reward was higher than Etherscan says, then there was some MEV there, and that's the easiest way to describe it. So Ethermine's going to be implementing that, but back to your point, or what I was trying to get at there, Pocket Change, is now that they're doing that, Ethermine, once 1559 goes in, unless other pools join in, and they probably will, I'm sure that, Flexpool's already looking at it, or already doing it. Ethermine's the one I believe that they're starting to implement it. It was like a beta thing. Flexpool's already doing it, but every pool's going to have to do it. So what it's going to come down to is if they want to compete for miners' hash rate, right? So, so even though we're not doing the April 1st thing with directing our hash power all to Ethermine to show the Ethereum community that that there could be a risk if the rewards go down and you consolidate that hash power in one location. Like the point would be if someone could rent that much hash power. That was kind of like what we were trying to show them, and it didn't come across that way at all, because there was 2 instances where they didn't like the words that we were using. So you know how that goes, words, violence, and all that stuff, right? So they didn't like the words that we were using. I think the one that really pissed them off was show of force, right? So I think BBT was the one that said that initially. It was just a show of force. What he was trying to say was, like, we're not attacking anything, guys. We're just showing how this would work if someone was to do this, Anyway, so yeah, Ethermine with the MEV capability being implemented and distributing those rewards to miners, we might point our hash power there anyway. That's my point. So it's kind of funny. Kind of funny if you think about it. All right, so let's get back to a little bit of topics here. I know I'm getting close to DCA Adventure time, and I'm nowhere near where I wanted to be at this point. But yeah, so EIP 3368, 3368, not going to happen. Was a good idea. I gave it, whenever people ask me, like in chats or anything like that, if I thought that it was going to be implemented, I gave it a 1% chance, you know, because throughout history, the short history of Ethereum, they have tried to mimic, you know, they don't have a halving like Bitcoin or these other proof of work projects. They don't have a halving of block rewards, but they have, if you look at what has happened to Ethereum over the years, they have tried to kind of mimic what Bitcoin was doing at certain times. They were trying to decrease the block rewards, and that's why whenever if you start talking about increasing block rewards, the discussion is basically over with the devs and the community. They will not entertain it at all, and that's why I gave it like a 1% chance. You know, so I mean, I appreciate Bitsby Trippin doing all that work. Oh my gosh, he did so much work, spreadsheets and data and the whole thing, and writing up this EIP. Yeah, I mean, God bless him, you know, for doing all that work. But it was definitely an uphill battle from the get-go, and he knew that. I'm sure he knew that. But it was worth a shot, I guess you could say. All right, I'll try to catch up on y'all's chat here in a minute. All right, let's go and look at DCA Adventure. Let's do a refresh here. Are they live yet? Not yet. Are y'all? Let me know in the chat. Tag me over there if y'all are waiting on me, because I can end this anytime here. Tag me in the chat if y'all are waiting on me, please, kind sirs. Just let me know. I'll keep going here a minute. So last night I was talking about NFTs, and let me get to my channel here. I believe it was last night. No, it was the AMA. It was the AMA a couple nights ago, where I was talking about the NFTs and how I suddenly had, like, I was just thinking about it, and I had this kind of an epiphany, like a problem, you know, that popped in my head. I'm like, wait a minute. If the data for an NFT is just stored on IPFS, then anyone with the hash of that specific data could reference that NFT. And during that stream, I showed you guys with the Ravencoin wallet that was true. Okay, so we had created some NFTs underneath of Pocket Change XD here, and I created this Beeple one, the 5,000 days one, and I'm actually pointing that to the hash of the actual art that sold for $69.4 million this past week, and it's the same image. Okay, so if I click on that, it did start earlier. Now this is a 300 megabyte image, so JPEG, so it does take a while to load, but you can see that it is loading, and that is the same document or the same image on IPFS, and I'm doing it from a Ravencoin testnet wallet. So I brought this up last night or during that stream, and this is kind of like something that now I'm starting to see articles about it. I'm like, wow, this is kind of weird, you know, that all this timing aspect of it. But I started to see some stuff come across, like Crypto Panic and all the news aggregators and all that, about, hey, guess what? You know, if you buy an NFT, you don't really own the NFT itself, the actual image, if it exists on IPFS, right? The Interplanetary File System. You own the metadata for whatever system you purchased it from, like the values. Like in this case, you would own, if you were to buy this NFT from me, for example, this Beeple 5K right here. If I were to sell you this NFT, and it does reference the actual image here, well, really what you own is just this. You would only own this data, this object, or this asset right here. because anyone can reference this IPFS. And because of the inherent capabilities of IPFS, there's really not a way around this. Now you could, I think that probably the solution here, but now tell me who's going to do this. But there's going to be some, and there probably already is. I know Arweave has some capabilities, but I think that all theirs is just pinning and storage, like for long-term storage for real cheap or something. But in order for you to actually take possession of the JPEG image or the movie or the clip or whatever you are buying as an NFT, you would actually have to fire up your own IPFS node and store it there, like we've done with ours. So like if you go in, if I've got this IPFS client here, IPFS desktop, and if you go in here, I know you can't see it just yet, I'm waiting on it to come up. It takes a second. So you've got the IPFS node here, the client, and if I click on files here, it's going to show me the files that I have hosted. Maybe once it comes up, it takes a minute. Whenever you first fire it up, it does take a minute going out there and synchronizing and stuff. Okay, there it goes. So you can see the 3 files that I have here. And you notice that the Beeple one is not here because I don't own that. I don't have it. It's just, I'm just referencing it in IPFS, right? So you would have to actually, like, let's say that this one, this is Pocket Change XD logo right here, right? So that's an NFT as well. So if I click on that, boom, there's her logo. There it is. But the location of that actual JPEG is right here. Okay, so it's like PNG actually. So I have it, and I have it pinned. I believe that this is what you would have to do to actually take ownership of the actual image. I could be wrong, but it makes sense to me that that's the way that this would work. But again, who's going to do that? Like if you're a celebrity or something, you're probably not going to fire up an IPFS client and actually store it on a PC at your house, right? It's probably not going to work that way. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting to talk about because NFTs are so hot now. So this was an article that kind of led me down this road, and this was today. This was released today over here on Decrypt. Yes, your NFTs can go missing, and here's what you can do about it. They're talking about Arweave, I believe, is one of their solutions. And you can see right here, it clearly states, most NFTs don't really permanently live on a blockchain. That's potentially a huge problem when it comes to actually storing them. It's on you, the NFT buyer, to take steps to protect and store your NFT. So think about that. Like all these people that are buying NFTs, do you really think that they're storing them themselves, like some way that only they can access? Because if it's still on IPFS is peer-to-peer, and anyone with the hash can actually reference that document or that picture or that file, whatever, And then another risk is, let's say that it doesn't. Let's say that it references, let's say that the NFT, and there are out there that do this, they reference a website, like a web address. And then that web address, let's say that website shuts down. Then what? Where's your NFT? Where's your actual picture? All you have is the asset. All you have is the contract. That's all you have. So where's the actual picture? So this is a risk, and this is one of those things that can cause like a little bubble to burst whenever this is really put out there in the open. There's this other article here about the musician 3Lau. I don't know the guy or the person, whatever. They sold album for 11 million using NFTs. I guess it was 33 unique NFTs that they sold, and come to find out they're missing because I don't know. Well, actually, I didn't figure out exactly why they're missing, but they are no longer accessible in the location that they were. So that's a problem. So now whoever has paid for, the $11 million worth of NFTs here, they are not pointing to anything anymore from what I understand. This article doesn't talk about this because this is whenever he actually sold them. As far as them coming up missing, I don't know. I know I saw the article, but I don't have it linked here. I'd have to look that up again. But so there's, you know, a little bit of a risk here, and I don't know. I don't know what to, you know. You'd have to store it, like I showed you. You'd have to store it locally. You'd have to store it yourself, or trust wherever it's stored, you know, and pinned. That's the way that works. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. Let me check the chat, see what you guys are up to over there. That's a good description. It's like loading a porn picture, a prawn picture in 1995. Yeah, you remember the JPEGs like. That's funny. That's funny. All right, let's see here. What we got? What do we got? What are you guys talking about? All right, so let's see. Let's go and check DCA Adventure live now. No one said that they were waiting on me. They're not. Okay, so they are live and there's 17 watching. I think I might be in DCA Adventure. They might have sent me the link, so I might actually pop in there for a little bit. So I did have a couple other things that we could talk about, but I will talk about them tomorrow during the previous month's mining breakdown. Okay, so I'll do that tomorrow. It'll be about probably about 1 o'clock, like I was saying. So let's head over to DCA Adventure. I'm going to drop the link in the chat there. Let's head over there and do a Savage raid. You guys know what you're doing over there, right? Savage raid. And again, I might be over there as well. And no, I probably won't. I'll just sit there next. You know me. Won't say anything. All right, guys. I will see y'all over on DCA Adventure. If you thought that this was fun, entertaining, and all that cool stuff, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you on DCA Adventure also. I might not say anything over there, but we'll see. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, stay savage, everybody.